When we last left the streets of Bleakstone, they had just defeated and driven away the vicious bandit leader known as Saladin, a maddened moon elf with a penchant for stringing up his prisoners by the neck until they were dead. Well, excuse me. Investigations into Saladin's journal revealed more insight into his victims, as well as as well as the notes of an alchemist of a druid working with Saladin to develop medicine to cure his ailing men. Despite their best efforts to apprehend or to defeat him outright, Saladin did manage to escape, fleeing, though an arm lighter and with his home burned to the ground. After a night of melancholic reflection and, well, a level up for our dear intrepid adventurers, we now go back to one in particular. Vane. As you feel a familiar presence around you, as you slowly sit up from your bed. As you walk towards the door to the room, you see the doorknob shimmering hot, though as you grab it and open the door, it does not burn you. As you look out, you see a very broad, twisting, very broad, twisting path leading up towards what seems to be an eclipsed sun, surrounded on all sides by cavernous walls. Vane, approach me, child.
I'll just walk forward.
Yes, you make your way along and you see a good few odd sights. You see a few people, members of your order, sort of leading demons around in chains to lower, unlit portions of the realm. A few conflicts happening as demons try to escape and are summarily smitten down. And yeah. As you approach, you see a thin outline of orange starting to form around the dark sun as you approach. It's slowly taking the shape of an amorphous figure, and then finally a man with very broad, wide horns. Vane, how goes the hunt?
I'll just sort of go down to one knee. Not necessarily in a very sort of way of a worshiper, but more of like before one might a king
Mm-hmm.
as a knight, and just sort of looking up. Well, sir, I'm not entirely sure. I've yet to determine exactly what the cause of this outbreak we heard of was. It's so far hasn't seemed as though it's demonic or devilish, although with some of your brethren it's hard to tell sometimes with their tricks.
Quite so, child. Quite so. You hear a very loud, reverberating crack that echoes around the cavern as the figure slowly rolls its head from side to side. Forgive me, I'll come down and greet you. You see the silhouette form into a singular red line as it slowly makes its way down along the stairs and eventually brings itself back up as a very tall, thin man. You notice something odd. Usually in your previous dealings with Terzanon, he's been very immaculately dressed, very stoic, very well kept. Here he seems almost disheveled and tired. You see one of his horns has been snapped off very cleanly and with some sort of effort made to file it back into a point.
Was there some sort of problem while I was gone?
A minor one. You see, sort of tense his fingers together. I've been trying to, well, for lack of a better term, get you some assistance, dear child. Difficult to do in this day and age. It seems that even with their kingdom amok, the gods of the Albic are quite persistent. He sort of like very gingerly touches the broken off horn stump. Though, can't say I blame him. I'd probably be quite timid as well if demons were the best hope he had of maintaining his divinity. In any case, I have a small job for you. I believe there are a few holy sites within the town you find yourself in. Find one to this Albaic god, and, if you can, sanctify it in my name. It will allow me to exert my influence a bit more, and may even provide you a boon.
As you wish.
Good.
And if I might ask, what assistance were you thinking of sending? Another member?
I don't think the situation quite calls for that. I suppose I could try and say it might be good to attempt to... He seems very thoughtful and sort of scratches his cheek. Perhaps a few agents to assist you. Underlings looking to cut their teeth, as it were.
They could provide some assistance, although you know how little the members outside the Clam's Guard seem to do compared to us.
Quite so. But he just sort of shrugs his shoulders. If they say those who survive will be of better assets in the future, and those who don't, well, it is better them than someone who's of more use at the moment. In any case, I believe I shall leave you to it then, dear Vane. And remember, he very carefully reaches out a hand and sort of taps you on the shoulder. Don't drag your feet. And as you awake, you feel a small, almost slicing pain in your shoulder, though no blood is leaking out. The normal farewell he usually gives to his followers.
I'm just sort of sort of shrug the pain off, and I'll immediately just sort of get out of bed and start putting on my gear.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, what time is it? Is it still like about
It's fairly early in the morning.
like right as the sun's starting to come up?
Yeah, the sun is like just starting to rise, sort of cresting over the horizon.
Oh, that'd be like 6.
Yeah, about 6, maybe 6:30 or so.
I was about to say, if he got you up at like 3 in the morning.
That would not be too unusual.
Also, just before we get to me, I just thought of something. So since my character ended off, which the DM was probably going to say anyway, but I'm just going to get this out now before I derail anything again. Since my character ended off last time drinking some pretty heavy alcohol, and it's the following day, do I just get a hangover debuff?
Oh, you could roll.
Roll for it.
I
Con
would
save, right?
I would like that because Rouse's first thing is to stop by your store. That's the first thing I was planning on.
So this is a con save, right?
Mm-hmm.
+2 with it from... Yeah, cool.
I don't think you're going to be using your 3rd level rogue very much today.
Oh boy.
Is that a D12 you rolled?
D20.
No, that was a 20.
Okay.
That was a 14 plus a 2, so a 16.
Miraculously, you are not hungover.
Oh, wait, that also means I have to put my proficiency bonus on it too, right?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, so...
Yeah,
So
that's
yes,
one
so-
of you saying.
So
Rose.
still no hangover. All right, I can handle my drink.
You are in the beginnings of liver failure, though.
Uh-oh.
Take 5d20 liver poison damage.
Oh no, my skin, it's beginning to turn yellow. Aren't you
Yeah.
a half-elf? What of it? Don't you have light skin anyway?
You take 1d4 jaundice damage.
Ay, caramba. Anywho. So yes, Tristan, as you make your way downstairs, you just see the Reverend making some tea off to the side. Sort of gives you a very brief wave. Morning, lad. I believe you have a telegram or message of some sort. Sort of like points over his shoulder, and as you look, you see the familiar form of Kayla, the girl you saved from the farm the other day. You see she has 2 things. One is a very much solved puzzle that you gave her, and the second is a sort of small envelope. She just sort of waves. Hi, mister.
Wasn't that supposed to take her like 63 days or something?
Gee, it was, wasn't it?
So, Kayla, have you been?
Oh, I've been great. Yeah, this puzzle you gave me was real easy. I solved it yesterday.
You managed to solve it that quickly.
Seems so. Got any more?
Not particularly. They all have the same solution.
Darn.
Just sort of under his breath, and he's just gonna say, "Took me 2.5 years to solve that one."
From the heavens itself, fucking dumbass.
So, what was the letter you brought?
Oh, yeah. She, seems to remember and just sort of, holds it out.
You just take it and start reading it.
Dear boy, I'm replacing you with this girl.
I was about to
Turns
say,
it on.
she is more, she's more cost-effective and capable.
She's willing to work for pennies a day.
I traded her, a lollipop for her mortal soul.
As you look over the letter, it sort of reads, "To whom it may concern, you are formally requested to appear before Lady Bright Eyes at your earliest convenience. Bring the other 2 knuckleheads. Sincerely, Lady Bright Eyes."
Huh.
She, I kinda got a job delivering letters and stuff around town, and, she seemed angry.
And is she important or something?
Oh, she's, the leader of this little town.
No. She owes me money.
You don't know that.
So
To Vane, it does.
I gotta know. Instead of saying Terzanon damn it, would he say Terzanon bless you? Would that be taking his name in vain?
Yet to decide on that. I
Like,
would
if
think
Terzanon blessed a town, would it be damned then?
depends. What is the state of the town in far as fiendish infestations go? So, hold on. Thanks, guys. I've lost my place of thinking.
Someone owes you money.
Yes, I'm trying to think of what I was going to say after
You're
that.
the town that bitch owes me money.
All right, I guess I can go see what she wants, but so what did you think of the inside of the puzzle exactly?
Oh, it's real neat. It's real pretty. It's very shiny. She like sort of holds it up and just like, ooh.
Well, you can keep looking at that. I'll go see what this person wants in a bit.
Oh, sure thing. Good luck. And she just like goes back to fiddling around the puzzle a bit. Ooh. What? The Reverend sort of like walks over, hands you a thermos. Here you are to go.
What's in here?
There's a bit of my famous tea. And some sugar if you want it.
Thank you. I haven't had anything like that since last being with my team. They're the only ones who ever really make tea back where I'm from.
Well, he gives sort of a very big toothy smile. Not all of us are uncultured out here.
Anyway, where's this Lady Bright Eye located?
Center of town. Big town. Big building. Big building. I think it used to be a. God damn it! God. It's a large building. I think it used to be a museum of some sort.
Vane will start to turn to walk away, but then also, Reverend, do you know where the closest holy site is for your god?
Holy sites? I think the closest one would be Riverside.
Where is that located?
It's about a few hours ride out. It's sort of where we have our cemetery. Keeps them from rising back up with all those necromancers about.
Okay. Well, thank you for the help and for the tea. I'll be heading off to see what this Lady Bright Eye needed.
Best of luck to you. And worst comes to worst, a few healing herbs mixed up in there. Might want to save a swig or two for afterwards.
And Vane will head on his way to the center of town.
Quick unrelated question. Is unholy water a thing?
Yes.
Yes. Actually, no. Vane won't be heading to town. It doesn't say specifically which two idiots she wants.
Speaking of those two idiots, hey Rowless, what's your plan for this morning?
I assume by now I'm already outside of Caleb's store.
Yeah.
Probably being greeted by his familiar.
Oh, it had been a minute. I'd almost forgotten their melodic tones.
Because I assume he's still passed out.
Fibble
Actually, when he enters, he'll see me just looking around practically everywhere. Just softly calling for Fibblethip.
Here, boy, Fibblethip, get the cracker.
I've got some iron nails coated in oil. Your favorite.
If you show up now, I'll even let you dip them in gunpowder. Damn, that usually gets him. Fibblethip!
Roll me an investigation check.
Investigation. 3 plus 3 plus 6, so...
Wait, aren't they at least 8 now or something? Wasn't that a thing?
That was to tell someone was
Oh,
lying.
gotcha. My bad.
So 8 plus 6, so 14?
You see Fibblethip sort of like crouched up in one of the rafters, seemingly munching on a good bit of gunpowder and scrap metal.
I'll be dead ass. I was actually wanting him to go. I was actually wanting him to be lost, and we could have just made a side thing. Oh, there you are, Fibblethip. Hey, what's in your mouth? What's in your mouth?
He starts chewing faster.
Fibble. And then I'll use my wait. How high is it to this ceiling?
Picture it's like a blacksmith's hut set, so it's like 15 feet up or so.
Probably a bad idea to use a super jump. Instead, I will grab a broom and try to knock him down.
Roll me athletics.
Oh, for fuck's sake! That's a total of 4.
Does he steal the broom from him?
He took your broom.
He starts smacking you with it.
He starts chewing on the end.
Fibblethip, stop eating my damn broom! All right. Listen. Hey, and then I'll grab a handful of bullets from some of my reserve ammo. Hey, see this? Yeah, you want some bullets, boy? Come down from the rafters and give me my broom, and I'll let you eat these. Come on.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Well, he might also be lying.
15.
Or deception if you're lying.
Actually,
Is your
one?
deception higher?
no, they're about the same, and I kind of already rolled.
I mean,
They're the
both
same.
charisma.
They're the same.
Yeah, we'll just do the persuasion one. 15 plus a 2.
He doesn't want to
Plus
start
actually,
lying.
15 plus. Oh, that's a non-nat 20 actually, because it's plus 5 combined with the
Proficiency.
yeah.
Sort of like he instantly like hops down and like sets the broom to the side and sort of
Alright,
holds out his hand.
All right, I'll give you 5 of them. Okay, any more than that, and you're gonna tear your stomach apart. Do you want me?
He seems to be very mockingly imitating your voice and then chewing on the bullets.
God, I wish Dad were here.
So how much bite damage would this thing do if it can eat metal?
Yes.
I just assumed it swallowed it, and then it has like outrageously strong stomach acid.
That makes sense.
Well, I seem to have walked in on something.
Yeah, the door's been open for the last 5 minutes of this.
Oh, hello, Relish. Come on in.
And he's gonna walk in, just drop his hood. I wanted to talk to you about something really quick.
Go ahead.
That last battle seemed a little more dangerous than normal. So, if we're going to be traveling around for a while together, I thought it might be best to have a second option in case you get severely hurt or anyone who are traveling with. So, I was hoping he's gonna pull back one of the sleeves on his arm. If you could work your shield into my arm here, so that I can bring that out whenever needed.
Caleb will will grab just a hold of your arm for a minute and then eyeball some things. Give me a moment. Then he'll come back with a measuring ruler. Take some measurements here. Yeah, okay, we can do that. Easy. What kind of shield are you wanting? Square shield, kite shield, what?
You know what? Do what you think is best. As long as it can fit into my arm without removing my talon, that would be the best option.
He'll stick a thumb up and then out and then close one eye. Kind of tall.
Is this the point where you pull out the yearly catalog of shields, maiden edition?
Bruh.
Sorry, I only have last year's edition.
Ooh.
Actually, I only have the last 5 years edition because kind of stopped getting those after this pandemic broke out.
Tragedy.
Something about supply chain problems, yada yada. I don't know. Yeah, I can make one. Give me a few hours, and then I'll have it done by today, I think.
Okay. I was gonna head over to Nika's. Got a job for her. So, how much would it cost?
You know what? What material are you wanting this in? Standard. Steel is the standard.
Steel is good enough.
Okay. Working materials. About 5 gold.
Standard shield is 10 gold.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I looked it up specifically. I'm not gonna shortchange you.
I was gonna say, well, you know what? Since you're a friend of mine, I'll give it to you half price.
Okay. Let me find a pencil to subtract my gold. And hand me that green pencil. Thank
Zoop.
you, DM.
You know, if Rylus is made of metal and Thibblethip eats metal, just saying.
I feel like he's tried, and I probably put a hole in him beforehand. Well, I sent you your gold.
Alright, dope, thank you. Hey, while you're out, do me a solid. Take these 3 amethysts and then go sell it at the market. I meant to do that yesterday, but you know, everything that happened.
Okay.
Would I be passing by these doofuses by now?
Ah, yeah, I'll just say that you walk by and see very pleased Thibblethip just gnawing on some bullets. And see John, good old Caleb starting to get to work on something as Rallis heads for the door.
Hey, you two. I have a request from a Lady Bright Eye. And she asked for 2, I believe her wording was Nimrods, or something of the effect. I'm assuming that's probably you two.
Is that all you have from her?
She asked for all 3 of us to go to her place in the center of town.
Yeah.
Well, looks like we're gonna have to put this shield on hold then.
Yeah. I don't see us leaving probably today, so as long as I have by the next time we actually head out.
Fine by me. Thibblethip, watch the store till I get back.
Then he very promptly goes outside, turns around, sits down, and watches the store very intently.
Good boy.
Your rock thing's an idiot.
Matt, what?
Rock thing.
Yeah, but he's my idiot.
And this is like the Digimon episode where it's like, I told you to watch her. I did. I watched her fly away.
Anyway, and then I'm going to take a quick second to look in a mirror and like fix up hair and stuff like that. And this looks about as presentable as I'm going to get.
Or as Uralis heads out the store, he's immediately pulling the hood back up. Just over everything.
Closed door, lock up shop, let's go.
And away we go once again to adventure without Big.
I was about to say.
Again, he doesn't fit organically into the plot of adventures, but
I was gonna
it's
say, Big, what's your plan this morning?
You guys all
Well-
get up and go to work?
That just happens to be in
Basically.
the center of town with this Lady Bright.
No. If it don't work organically, it no. Big is a man of culture, you see. So, yeah, I'm wanting to start using my alchemist thing, so I was thinking I've been working on the experimental elixir. Beginning at 3rd level, whenever you finish a long rest, you can magically produce an experimental elixir in an empty flask you touch. And then I roll a d6, and it does whatever that effect is.
Ah, lovely. Have at it.
Yeah, so... I have the alchemist's tools. I've never actually... Do I... Like it?
It just magically creates it, I think.
Yeah, because it
Yeah,
says
yeah.
I touch a flask, so...
And the alchemist tools are for creating specific potions and stuff.
Gotcha.
You just get a free one every day. But
Yeah.
you don't know what it is until, like, what is it, like 15th level or something?
Yeah, you just... You make it, and you know it does one of these things, but you don't know which one.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's,
just
like, it's like 15th level is when you get to choose or something.
Yeah.
write down an experimental flask, and every day we'll just roll the d6 when it comes up. Instead of knowing right away, we'll know when it's used.
Alright, so... Yeah, I guess I just worked on that. If we don't know what it does yet, then I don't... However...
Does it just roll whenever you drink it? Or whenever you make it?
I feel like rolling whenever you drink it would be the optimal solution here.
you can create-
Because if you roll when you make it, you know what it
Yeah,
does.
because you're not supposed to... I don't think you know what it does.
Yeah,
Ah,
if he wants to taste it, you'll 100%, but
I mean, we could do that anyway if you wanted to.
Hmm.
Yeah, it says you figure out you roll whoever drinks it rolls to figure out what it does.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it's the fun option. Got
Yeah,
it.
it's the fun option. You always go with the fun option.
Again, other than working in the medical, I don't know how to any of this organically. So
In one of the flasks you see in front of you is a poison. In the other one, it is a pure potion. I do not know which one it is. You get to pick. You drink one, I will drink the other.
But yeah, you start working on a new elixir. You kind of see good old uncle working a bit behind you, just sort of like mixing up a few things. Sort of like very carefully swishes it around in his hands, and sort of like starts to pour it out. And let's see if that should be. Yeah, that's not right, is it? Ah, curse it all. Yeah, he just sort of like walks over and starts pouring out the potion he just made into a bin. Don't know how those druids do it. This bliss stuff is hard to make.
well, I think I'm having some success with my potion.
Oh, are you now?
Yeah, I just I don't know, like shaking around a flask, finished adding the last couple drops or whatever, and it's like starts glowing vaguely. It's like I don't know what it does, but it's finished.
Ah, well. Not knowing what your magic does is the first step to knowing what it does. He just kind of smiles. Well. Tell you what, so we have occasion to try it out. I'll make sure we do. I'm sure it's lovely.
Here's hoping. I've never been the best at this.
Ah, well. Well, we're working on that. And you've been doing marvelously with all the patients and such, so if that ever breaks through here, then it breaks through.
Fade to black.
But yeah, after that brief aside into the slice of life portion of our campaign,
The slice of big,
It's a big slice of life.
despite how small it is.
Oh.
it's why we have to break it into such small parts. It's too big to individually.
Previously on The Big Life.
I made a potion. The end.
For what Big's been doing with his time off, we're gonna go to Al Rooker. Al, he made a potion. Thanks, Al.
So, Dan, for booking stuff, how much would a scroll of mending cost? Since I can't really drink health potions, that is my only real healing option.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's another.
Yeah, but if he's not around and you're not around, because I believe you also have cure wounds, don't you?
But are you asking the warlock
Or-
if he heals?
Oh,
Sorry,
no,
the
that-
battle mage.
That was that was Zargo. He had healing.
Yeah.
That two different warlocks. So
I have mending
You're
and
asking the
healing.
wrong individual.
yeah. So he's our only healer. I mean, Soren can heal me. Caleb can heal me with mending. But if I'm separated from everyone and I need it right then and there, it would be smart to have a scroll or two of it.
It'd be about 50 gold a piece.
Okay, I'll probably pick one up later.
Me, I have this magical handy-dandy box of tools that shows up behind a rock every time I need them.
You should pick up healing potions.
Yeah.
Both of you should.
But yes, as the three of you approach the very large museum-like building, it's seen better days. It's a bit dilapidated. There's a few broken windows and such, but thankfully there's a few hunters around who seem to be maintaining it. Kind of see the door is open. Another hunter just sort of like standing guard there, his arms crossed very tightly. Sort of like looks up. You the free?
I suppose so. Just hold out the letter.
Holds open a door and steps aside. Top of the stairs, turn right, first door on your left.
And just sort of briskly walk past.
Yeah, as you walk through, you see a lot of the former sort of artifacts of this museum have been sort of stored away. You see a lot of memorabilia for the time of the quarantine sort of stuck on the walls. There's a very large tapestry of what seem to be members of the guild. You kind of see, oddly enough, you see Ref on there, a bit younger, a bit smiling a bit more, has a very lovely woman at his side. And yeah, just lots of things like that. There's lots of trophies on the walls.
Is this a big museum?
No, there is no big here.
Shut up.
No, there is no big here.
That is
know.
a true statement.
It's not a very big museum. It's fairly small.
So it wouldn't be one that would have like a map of all the exhibits.
No.
Okay.
It's like maybe one or two rooms.
If it was big enough, I would have liked to grab like a map if they have it.
You see a few more hunters sort of walking around, seemingly just is like the bureaucracy part of their little organization. The room you've been directed to has a little sign out front, has quite a few names sort of on it, but most of them are like crossed out. Seemingly they've gone through quite a bit of leadership. The one that remains is in very bright gold letters, Lady Bright Eyes. If you're out there, you can come on in.
Just head on in.
As you enter, the three of you are very overwhelmed by the very heavy smell of disinfectant, and quite a few trophies hung up on the walls. Some of them are parts of very large beasts and creatures. You see a griffin head mounted above a fireplace. What seems to be the arm of a dragon. Quite a few of them are engraved weapons. You see a few with like little notes next to them for who wielded it, or see monograms on the steel. And yeah, there's a very nice, cozy little den in front of you with a desk, a few seats set up, well cushioned, nice polished wood table. It's a very fancy room, very fancy for what you would expect for ongoing apocalypse. You see the leader, Lady Bright Eyes, just sort of like very carefully dusting one side out, some of the shelves nearby. She has very long gloves on, a small feathered cap sort of set upon her head. I'm sorry, what are you laughing about? What seems to be the issue? Tell me.
That is something someone could be wearing, I guess.
I missed it. What happened?
Just a very feathered cap. I don't know why you'd be wearing that while cleaning, but sure.
It dusts whatever's above her.
It's her dusting hat.
Yeah.
No, it's like a. I don't.
I was reacting to just how ridiculous this lady is already.
Yes.
I want to know, what color dragon arm is it?
Blue.
Okay.
Yeah, I may have described it poorly. It's sort of like. I forget the name of it. It's like what archers used to wear.
Oh, it's one of those.
Oh,
Yeah, what like a. I hesitate to call it that, but like a Robin Hood hat.
Gotcha.
Oh, the
I think it's just a skull cap with a feather.
Skull cap with feather. Yeah, that might be it.
Might not even be a skull cap, but whatever.
The green one with the feather.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
'Cause I just
Google
heard
is your
cap,
friend, or sorry, non-sponsored search engine is your friend.
Like just feathered cap, and I was just sort of like, what does that mean?
You guys want a nice
Ah.
bottle of sports drink?
If you've seen
Unspecified.
Bloodborne, it's the hat from Bloodborne.
Okay, yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The is it like a tricorn hat? or whatever?
Tricorn, that was it.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
That's it. Phew.
Also, for those of you who don't want to fuck with the DM's flow,
Yes, she's wearing a tricorn, very long gloves, has a bit of a very heavy leather trench coat sort of set up, and
lots of animal death involved in her outfit.
lots of animal death, very bloodborne outfits. So, you see her turn her free hand sort of towards the seats in front of us and say, "Have a seat."
Vane will just sort of walk over next to one and just sort of stand there, arms crossed.
Party of edgelords.
Yeah, you see her sort of set the duster aside and just sort of sigh as she turns around.
I don't know what you two are doing.
Sitting down.
Miles also would probably be standing arms behind his back in a soldier stance.
I was about to say, this person has authority over you, don't they?
It's his standard, pose when he's talking to someone important.
It's the closest thing to respect he can give.
Yeah.
I want to believe that she doesn't expect him to sit down because she did that once. He actually did it, and then the chair broke because it was cheap wood. So she says it every time, but he doesn't do it.
It's a formality.
Me being someone who's lucky enough to run a business in this city, sit down, sit up straight, eyes forward.
Like
Meanwhile,
a business meeting.
Be nice to the lady who decides zoning.
meanwhile, I'm just like, I don't know who the fuck you are. I don't care.
Yeah,
And this isn't even my city.
You could all literally die. It would not bother me.
And I thought what we had was special.
Oh yeah, you sort of hear her clicking her tongue, and Vane, as she turns and you kind of see her for the first time, you see she has a very deep claw mark sort of across her face, and her eyes are a very bright blue. They don't seem to have any whites, as they're just completely blue with small star-like pupils. It takes you a moment to realize that they're not eyes. They seem to be very well-polished, rounded sapphires. And she just sort of walks over. Rollis. Excuse me. Rollis? Quaylen? And I'm sorry, I don't believe we've met.
No, I don't believe we've crossed before. You can just call me Vane.
You owe me money.
Pay me, bitch.
Vane. I see. Very carefully, pulls out her seat and sits down. Now, do the three of you know why I've called you here today?
Would it happen to be to give me the money owed for fixing the water supply problem?
You're close. It's related to that.
You are to be executed as offerings. To disrupt, to stop a war.
Honestly, I'd just accept a small payment for getting rid of those idiots who were trying to do it beforehand. I'm gonna be honest, they're not the smartest tools in the shed.
You see her blink very slowly at the absolute audacity, but just very carefully, just sort of wave her fingers. No, that's not why I called you here, Sir Vane. The issue is that the three of you harassed invited guests and have harmed relations. Now, before I continue on, do you have anything to say for yourselves?
Vane will just sort of look at you two first before he starts speaking, if you all have anything to say.
Before he starts imagining a bonfire underneath this woman.
How often have I interacted with Lady Bright Eyes?
I'd say it's not like a super common thing, but she's the sort of boss who tries to meet with all the people working with her at least once a month.
You have a very business
Can
relationship.
can I try to recall some history here?
Sure.
Was she running this city whenever the purges were happening? The one that killed my father?
Yes and no. As you recall your history with Lady Bright Eyes, you know that her organization were not always protectors of people. They were actually a guild of assassins, the Quiet Guild. They were smugglers, killers, just all around organized crime in the city. It was only when the plagues broke out that they sort of managed to assume control of this area and sort of keep it protected, and sort of reinvented themselves as protectors of the people. That being said, you do recall that your father used to do business with not Lady Bright Eyes, but her father before her, and you excuse me, and you know that they were also sort of targets of the purge.
I was actually, will speak up. Quite simply put, it would have been a much smarter idea to have at least one guard right up next to them at all times. So that to anyone
you mean
who,
like a Nika who was there guarding them?
off in the distance, away from them. I mean, next to them.
In their bubble.
That way, anyone that walked up would be able to tell that she's there.
You need to be able to taste their breath.
For the record, I could tell she was there, I just didn't really care.
Were the 12th Imperists invited guests too? Were they invited into my home? Were they invited to slaughter my family? I'm amazed this is the first time a your kind has worried about others' lives. Last I recall, before your father, that wasn't the case. So, where was he? Where were they? Protector. Make no mistake, my Lady Bright Eyes. I do wish to protect this town. Perhaps maybe you'll need to be a bit more understanding as to why I don't trust particularly special sects of Krishna, given that I've lost my own faith.
It is not that I do not appreciate the concern. It is that they were invited guests. Quite frankly, Rallis, I know you've been talking about this quite a bit. What is our food situation? Remind me.
Quite simply put, if we don't figure out something soon, we'll be dead probably in 4 months. Or, if we ration properly, we might get 6.
4 to 6 months. And remind me, what was your suggestion for how to make food a more long-term option for us?
Well, I'm not particularly gung-ho about it. I don't think it would be a good idea, because in order to do it, we would have to go into all-out war with, what's it called? Moss something?
Moss flower.
Moss flower.
The druids.
We'd have to go into all-out war with moss flower, which would cause more problems.
Quite so. Now, riddle me this, dear Alice. Should the worst happen, and we have cause to go into war, is it better or worse to have enemies on all sides or enemies on only one? Simply put, I was attempting to garner goodwill with these fanatics. I do not enjoy their politics, but quite frankly, if we must deal with both of them, I would rather not deal with both of them at once, because that is a fight we would lose. Now, the reason you're here is that the treatment of them, however warranted it may have been, I'm sure it felt quite nice to rub their noses in it, as it were, but it has harmed relations. You must all understand, your actions reflect not only on you, but on this community and myself. If these responses are not measured and calculated, then it may bring us into conflict before we are ready. Do I make myself clear?
Technically, Miss Bright Eyes, I'm not a part of your community.
Then why are you here?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out with all these beasts your kingdom has roaming around. Because you see, quite frankly, and he'll just sort of lean forward a bit, with it putting his hands back behind him. If I don't like what I find, or if I find it's going to be too much of an issue and starts spreading too far out, I may be forced to call upon the others of my kind. And believe me, you do not want that.
She just sort of gives a very small smile. Are you trying to intimidate me?
I'm telling you exactly what will happen. It's up to you whether or not you choose to interpret that as advice, a threat, or simple encouragement to do what is both appropriate and swift. And to be frank, those morons you want relations with, I significantly doubt they could muster up a force worth fighting if they were trapped inside of a paper bag, to be honest.
Well, you're welcome to feel as you wish. She gives a very pointed, point towards you. Do not act on behalf of this town if you do not claim to be a part of it. If my people's blood is spilled because of your loud mouth or your braggish attitude, I will put you down myself.
And if that were to happen, my fellows would be forced to intervene personally, and let's put it this way. If you thought 2 enemies coming from all directions was bad, imagine what happens when you have innumerable enemies coming from every side and appearing without reason in places you didn't know existed inside your own town. Because that's what will happen. But
She just sort of taps her thumbs together. Well, in response to that, you may consider yourself banished for 1 week. Do not step beyond. You may have your possessions out by the end of the day, and you may not enter past the palisade for that time.
Very well. And Vane will sort of turn to walk out. Oh, and just so you know that this isn't any sort of personal thing, I would like to extend a invitation. If you should find your community situation grow dire enough, if you were to put the word out for my organization's assistance, they could have the resources of their own kingdom sent here. That would extend your limited supplies significantly, I believe.
She just sort of rubs the side of her head. If your attempt was to persuade me that you have benevolent intentions, then you may consider it done. We'll make it 4 days, not a week.
Very well. I will put out the call to my associates to begin building some supply chains here. If you'll have one of your men put forth a list of what is most critical, I can see that it's at least partially sated by, we'll say, within 3 months' time.
Very well. You're all dismissed.
I'm actually going to turn to you and say that I think I have a way to find who we were looking at yesterday. Meet me at the gate we left in a couple, we'll say 2 hours. I might have a way to track him down.
Alright.
I'll turn back towards Nika. If you want to have that list, I'll swing by here before then.
Towards who?
The list for him.
Oh.
What supplies we need.
Ah.
So, with that, Rouse is going to go and head towards Nika.
Alright.
Yeah, Vane will just sort of head off to the Reverend's place for a quick stop.
Alright.
I don't know if Caleb has any response to anything just happened.
Yeah, any... What are you up to, Caleb? Because things got kind of tense there.
Intensity aside, ma'am, if it makes you feel any better, I will concede that I think you are correct. You need to understand, I still rather hold some hatred for things that have happened in my past. But my fights with the 12th Imperists, not them. And as such, I'll go ahead and give an apology. And I will promise you that we can fix the relations between them and the city. The Christians nonetheless.
Much appreciated, Caleb. Thank you.
While I am here, however...
Oh?
I need to talk to you about these new zoning laws.
So it says I can't have a sign, more than twice the size of my storefront.
And I know Fibblethip keeps biting down on the local pipeline, but I really think the lead his teeth put into the water might actually be helpful.
However, if I am going to try to fix relations with these... What were they called again?
Fuck faces.
The Munis?
With the Munis. I do not wish to tear apart this city looking for my father's killer. So I request only that you might aid my search. I realize, of course, that you've come a long way since your people's past murderous intents. But I know that the person that shot my father was a 12th Empyrean. If nothing else, I want to interrogate them. Pure and simple.
Well, given your assistance over the past few years, well, that's more than fair. I'll put out the word to our informants to look for anyone involved in the purges.
Good. Thank you.
Before you go, this Vane person, what's your read on him?
He's not in the room. He can't hear you.
The evil devil magic man can't hurt you.
Show me on the doll where...
Show me where he burns you.
That escalated quickly.
I believe he forgot to also legally inform you that he is a registered hex offender. But anyway.
I am.
No.
I'm not entirely sure. If I were still a faithful man, I'd almost call for some sort of exorcism on him.
Well, in exchange for looking into your issue, keep an eye on him for me, would you?
So anyway, off we go then. Where to?
Well, let me just check.
I don't think you were given a mission specifically.
I mean, I ordered something from him.
Ah, so...
Then I'm meeting up with Vane in about 2 hours.
I guess I'll go back and, in that time, work on the shield.
Yeah.
Oh, alright.
Now I'll be heading back to the Reverend's house.
You see, now you guys know how big feels.
So, while you're doing that, Caleb, Tristan and sorry, excuse me. Vane and Rallis, both roll me. I don't know, just roll to see who goes first.
Well, why don't we have a little side thing with Dig, see what he's up to during this
That's
as a transition.
That is a 2.
Dice.
You all
One
right,
of
bud?
these is a D20. 18.
So yes, big. Well, as you, excuse me. What was your plan after making the potions and such, or did you have anything planned for today? Or
Well, Big's, I guess, taking this day for research, because, again, I've been ignoring most of my alchemy things, so I'm going to work on the infusions. I want to make the alchemist jug we were talking about earlier.
oh, all right.
So, I don't know if there's anything you want me to have gathered or done to make it in the story, but ability-wise, I just touch a jug and it becomes that, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, that sounds about right. If you just like practicing your magic and whatnot, then yeah, you now have an alchemy jug.
Nice.
Just making supplies for the next thing.
Yup. I mean, when do you not need 12 gallons of seawater and 2 gallons of mayonnaise?
But,
Like, these are at least short rest periods of time passing. I'll be loaded by the end of this.
oh yeah.
It definitely is a good thing.
Oh yeah. You start working on. You finish up on your nice little new alchemy jug, and just as you do, good old uncle like walks by and says, "You know that's supposed to be full, right, lad? Don't think you're alchemying quite right there."
Oh, it is full. Here, try it. Like, I hand it to him, shake it.
All right. Like holds it up and just. And what happens?
Oh, it always appears empty, but if you shake it, it always sloshes.
Oh.
Expert sound effects.
No, just thibble-thip mouth noises. You hear a crunching
me.
vaguely.
Why is your drug screaming, "Kill me, lad"? What sort of unnatural sciences have you been doing?
Little do you know, Fibblethip is the god of alchemy.
Bruh.
He saw the other side of the door.
Oh, God.
Dude, put your finger
Truth.
in. Put your finger in it. Feel its consistency.
That got different very fast.
Fibble fip.
The deaths in this campaign make fuel for the other one.
But it should be able to produce at least 8 gallons of fresh drinking water a day.
Holy shit.
Oh. Well.
Mayonnaise.
Less useful. It might be able to produce around 4 gallons of beer. So
You say less useful, I say more useful, lad.
That's antiseptic.
And then all
yeah,
of a
that's
sudden,
that's a use.
But yes, as the good old uncle passes it back to you, it's very impressive, lad. Yeah, you've done wonderful work.
It's been a productive day so far.
Very productive. While I'm thinking of it, you have all those friends you've been adventuring about with, yeah?
Yes.
Well, when you get a chance, no rush or anything, obviously. But I've been trying all day to get that bliss stuff that we found the other day to find a way to replicate it. You know, it's been man took very good notes. Problem is, well, we recovered his body, but they already shipped it out to Riverbanks. I think they had his notes on it. So, if you wouldn't mind, if you got a chance, could you recover those for me? I'd go myself, but like very awkwardly, very awkwardly, shifts his legs from side to side. Got my limp and everything.
Yeah. So you said the Riverbanks.
Ah, yeah, Riverbanks. You haven't been here long, but that's where we keep all of our dead. Keeps my former co-workers from raising them out of the ground and whatnot.
I understand. I will make sure it happens.
Ah, thank you, lad.
So since I've been productive today, I've been wanting to, because as an artificer as he is, I can make a homunculus.
Ah,
It says all I need is 100 gold.
ah.
So, how much would I have been paid since I started working here?
Uh,
A good goddamn thanks from the heart of the city.
In smiles. and
you've been
joy.
paid and promises of payments.
I mean, I would be fine with that. Big is
I'd say
everyone's
you've-
friend.
I'd say you've made, like, in the time you've been here, around 200 gold or so.
Okay. So I guess that'll be my next project. We'll see how far I get on that.
Ah, wonderful, lad.
That one will take a bit longer than the others, I would imagine. You know,
Ah.
creating life from nothing.
Yeah, I was about to say, that feels like it would take a few days.
It might take more than an afternoon, but I would like to acknowledge that I'm starting that.
Oh, makes sense.
Doesn't it take like 8 hours to make one of those things?
Oh, something like that.
I don't remember. You had a character that made one once, I want to
Yes.
say, but I don't remember.
Scraps.
That was 2-3 years ago.
I mean, 8 hours for him is like a regular D&D session for him, so...
Yeah, I mean,
Well, best of luck with that. Although, if all goes well, we'll have an assistant around here.
oh yeah.
So,
Behold. Instead of Fibblethip, I call it Thibblethip.
Thibble.
Instead of eating metal and gunpowder, it eats glass and medical supplies.
No, see, it eats medical waste, like bloody bandages and such. It's very efficient.
I think Soren's dying over there.
I mean, it reflects on your alchemy, and my guy is a druid of rot, so...
Would he, so would he be the one drinking the forbidden alchemy juice that your uncle has been making?
Yeah, see, there's no real way to dispose of that legally or safely or without killing the local wildlife. So,
It'll either get you high as a kite, or you'll start rotting from the inside and become a zombie before you're dead.
yeah, like you see a fly land in it and it suddenly turns to stone from the inside out.
But instead of sinking, it starts floating into the air.
Or if you don't...
Oh.
Or,
ah. But yes, good old... as Big starts to draw the Alchemy Alliance for his latest and greatest project, having had just one heck of a day.
Very productive day.
Very productive day, no one yelled at him.
No one threatened my life for existing.
Didn't get banished from town for saying that if anything happened to him, he would just whole town would be glassed. You know, all wonderful things. Rallis, what are you up to?
Alice wants to go find Nika.
Yeah, as you go to find a Nike at the usual spot, you hear a good bit of yelling. Anika, get down here and face me like a fighter. You can't run away from this. Yeah, it looks like I can, dude. Get the fuck down here. No.
Do I recognize this person yelling at her?
No, you just hear a very angry sounding voice.
get the fuck
Do I-
down from there!
Do I see this guy?
Yeah, as you round a corner, you see a guy dressed in the normal hunter's garbs, just like stamping his feet very angrily. He's looking up at the very dead tree that Anika sort of set her little tree house in. She's just sort of like very boredly sitting on the edge and sharpening her blade. You, excuse me. Sorry.
Jump! Fucking jump!
Yeah, she's just sort of like sitting, has her legs hanging off the edge. You recognize her very easily since she has very pale, mottled skin and very well braided hair. And very ragged looking hunter's garbs, just a bit of a hood up. Looks very, very feral, if nothing else, compared to the usual decorum a lot of other hunters try to hold themselves to.
Okay.
Look, Mac, I'm sorry it turned out like this, but you can't really do anything. No, I certainly can. You killed my fucking brother, Anika. Your brother was infected, I'm sorry. There's no way to prove that. You just see her like fumble around with her jacket and pull out like a small vial of blood. Here's a bit of your brother's blood. You want to get tested and prove me wrong, then go ahead. But until then, like, you can just sit down there and yell. Get the fuck down here!
that meme's so old I can see the dust falling off of it.
I'm just going to walk up and just tap him on the shoulder.
The heck are you doing here? Hey, Rallis.
If you want her to come down here, you have to prove that he wasn't infected. Run to the medical tent. It should take them less than 5 minutes. And then if he was clean, I'll help you take her in.
Fine. Like, stows away to... Oh
I
boy.
legitimately thought that was in the campaign for like a split second.
Just this man starts doing the Kill Bill thing.
Tomasai, can you
I
check?
doubt it.
Mine doesn't even do that. Mine doesn't have an alarm.
Yep, that makes sense.
This isn't the first time this has happened.
This isn't the first time this has happened today.
It's not the first time this week, but I didn't know today.
Yeah, I woke up to that. So, this guy does what?
The guy sort of stares at you for a moment and seems to remember, oh yeah, it's Rallis the Metal Man. I should not fuck with this guy. Fine. Like, stows away the vial in his jacket. This ain't over, Nika. You know, it will be in about 5 minutes, so, have a nice day.
As he walks away, I'm going to turn. Be careful with that. If it is poison and it gets on you, you'll be next.
Well, she just kind of shrugs. Pez her to the job. Oh, she leans back. She leans back and then leans back up with a small little book. You notice a few draconic runes on the side of it. How am existence? She says in very crude draconic.
She's an elf, right?
She's a half elf, yeah.
And Elvin, I reply, I have a job for you.
That bad, huh?
I'm going to produce the ledger that I found the guy that fucked off during our battle.
Rallis' little black book.
A few acquaintances Caleb and I have went to a bandit outpost with the if I have it written down. Not in there though. Let's see. The Rolling Gallows bandit group.
I heard of them. Bunch of real jackasses, ain't they?
We went out to their leader. He managed to get away, but I hold up the book. I managed to find his ledger. And let's just say we can't exactly let him go. So I need a skilled tracker to find him. And just so you know, he's the one that likes to hang women when he gets a hold of them.
That guy, yeah.
Saladin.
She seems thoughtful and just sort of pops down. Yeah, I can give that a try. Got any belongings or any of his belongings or anything, or known acquaintances? She pulls out a small notebook just to get ready.
We have a couple of his ex-gang back here in town. I believe one of them's at the medical tent, but we got all the stuff out of him.
Avery works at the medical tent.
There were also a couple of ogre lawns that are back here. But beyond that, we killed everyone else that we found.
Burned the rest to death.
Well.
Job
Ain't gonna be ain't so big a loss. I can tell you that.
I'll go over everything that happened in the previous couple sessions, but
Gotcha.
that's. I'll also hand her the book. If you got anyone you can spare that can help us track him down.
Jackass like this, I'll be handling this personally.
Do you wish to mention the arm that I stole?
Oh yeah, you haven't. I completely forgot that.
We have about 6 pounds of charred flesh in this.
Oh, Right. One of the people I was traveling with, I think he burned off their arm.
Burned off his... What?
Yeah.
The fire cut his arm off.
He
He was very
used
upset.
some spell to singe off his arm and took his blade with him.
Ah, shit. Wow.
I'm gonna go meet up with the guy here in a couple hours.
May also have a couple of fucking bullet holes in them.
Ah.
But I gotta swing by the market real quick to do something with Caleb, and then I gotta go meet up with Caleb.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, you ever thought of trying to find a scryer or anything? Like, if I can get the general area down, that'll cut down the time a good bit.
That's why I came here. I was hoping you could help me out with that.
Let's see.
The only other person that might know is Reverend, and I'm not sure if he has scrying or not.
Let's
But
see.
I'll be swinging around there soon enough anyway.
Last I heard, there's a usual scry guy we got lives in Riverside, over with all the morticians and stuff.
I'll be heading there first then. You win?
Heck yeah. I'll be flipping through this if you need anything. It's just like,
I'll tell her the gate that we meet at, and then I'm gonna go sell his amethyst and probably pick up a scroll or two of mending for myself.
gotcha. So, while you do that, Tristan, what are you up to?
I have headed back to the Reverends to head back up to my room and start writing a letter to send out back to our group's headquarters. I just write in the note that we're getting ready to need supplies sent here, and that I'll have a list sent in a later letter. And then I'll also slip that one small ruby I'd gotten into the message and saying to give it to... let's see, which... to give it to... one of the other member of the clan's guard to pay off the debt I owed him. To Lynn Pale specifically, and then I will start heading off to wherever the messengers would be who send off letters.
Yeah, there's like a small little section near the main gate with a lot of horsemen set up. There's a few people sort of like tending to the horses and whatnot, a few messengers around. There's one like red-headed guy sort of like sitting behind a desk, very carefully cleaning his nails with a knife. Welcome. Welcome to the messenger's post. How can I help you?
I'm needing a message sent to another one of the kingdoms.
Let me stop you right there, fella. This whole town's under quarantine. We can only get messengers to other parts of town.
This one specifically with permission from Lady Bright Eye regarding getting the supplies to keep this place running for a little longer.
I mean that's a good cause and all, but like she can't really. This whole town's under quarantine. We can't really deal with the army outside.
But you can go to them and tell them that this message needs to be delivered.
Yeah, and they will kill us on sight for trying to leave a quarantined town.
Are you really trying to tell me that not a single person has any way of delivering a message outside of the kingdom?
Yeah, I am telling you that explicitly. We tried, and, we lost half our horses and 3/4 of our men.
Did you try messaging from a distance?
Yeah, they have bows.
Have you tried magic?
Don't got the magic for it.
I'm currently trying to decide whether or not the people of this town might actually not be worth the effort.
So how much paper is in this building?
Create bonfire.
I would like to increase the temperature of this room to 451 degrees.
I'm going to create bonfire, not the spell, like with your corpse, physically.
Just you awkwardly trying to use like a flint and steel. Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to stop, please.
My sulfury flesh is tinder.
I've never had to do one without magic. This is harder than it looks.
How do the survivalists do this?
So these soldiers, they have people on lookout with binoculars and spy glasses and the like.
Yeah.
About how far do you think they're able to see?
I don't have to see too far. There's one gate into this town and one gate out.
With those spy glasses, they'd have to signal to the archers beforehand to get ready if someone was approaching. So that would mean they'd have to...
Look, friend, I understand your efforts. I think it's great that you're trying to help us out. I'm telling you, we can't do it.
Well, in that case, we'll have to do this the hard way. And I guess I'll need to, in addition to the message, tell them to send enough forces to break through the wall themselves. Which will be unfortunate for them, but might slow it down slightly, but I guess it's fine.
How are you planning to send this message?
Just because you all don't have the ability to search for someone of enough magical influence doesn't mean I can't.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with that. Now, if you don't mind, there's a bit of a line. Shoot.
Oh, you know what, motherfucker? Just for that, create bonfire.
Under his ass.
No, my grandmama's stool.
I can use my scorching ray to ignite at least 3 different fires in this place.
I held off being annoyed up until you said shoo.
No. I'm just gonna conjure a mage hand to like a giant stacks of mail and just sort of push them over as I'm leaving. So it just sees a floating hand just sort of...
Isn't Mage Hand invisible?
It
is.
I don't know if it states it's invisible.
It does. It is.
I want to say it is.
It is invisible.
No, a spectral floating hand appears.
Gotcha.
So it is visible.
But he doesn't want it to be invisible.
He wants it to be known.
I mean, no one knows who's doing it.
My mail.
You look like you have magic. Why don't you do it? I don't know the magic to do it either.
Well, you see, there's this really cool guy called Terzanon that I know. Now, I know you may not have heard of him, but I
Who?
sometimes talk to him. He's the voice in my head.
Oh, I see. Starts writing a letter to the local asylum.
Dear Stumbles.
I was about to say, that Stumbles runs that too.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's just Stumbles, like, bonking people on the head with a hammer. All
Are you
right.
better yet? I hear voices in my head. Bam. Are you better yet? Did you know you can taste the color green?
Yep. That tasted purple.
I see bacon. Not bacon like the physical object, but like I can see the scent. It's very disconcerting.
Why does it look like a pig demon?
Oh, no, wait, that's Baphomet. Oh, no.
Oh no. Anyway.
In any case.
But yeah, in that case, Vane is just going to go ahead to meet with... Do you say you were meeting him at a gate?
The one that we were meeting at the first day. Or that we left through the last time.
Okay, yeah, he'll be heading to that gate.
I guess, just whatever I can sell those answers for and grab 2 scrolls of mending. Which, do you want to say just for purposes of it, say it's the same as like a small healing potion?
Ah, yeah.
Whatever that is, like
I'd say so.
it's what 2d is 2d8 plus 4 or whatever.
That sounds right.
I can never remember off the top of my head.
Hmm.
For now, I will write down 2d8 plus 4,
Gotcha.
and we can work on that. If you change it to whatever, tell me later, and I'll fix it.
Ah, yeah.
How much gold can I get for the amethyst that Caleb wanted me to sell for him?
I'd say about 75 gold apiece.
So 150. So that's going to be 225 gold that you get.
That's pretty cool.
For those of you at home, Caleb's player just mimicked having a heart attack at the sheer thought of 225 gold.
You remember that
That's
scene?
the second time tonight he's done this.
You remember that scene from Futurama where Fry finds out he's a fucking billionaire?
Off the interest from like $3 or something.
From like 3,000 years, yeah. Or 1,000 years, actually, yeah. Well, how much did you say I was getting?
225.
God damn.
Yes, you're almost excited as Smeeth was at getting the cart of gold.
Let's just
I guess if it's on the way, I'd also like to stop by the medical tent for like 2 seconds to talk to Stumbles.
Yeah, you hop into the medical tent and you just see Stumbles very calmly. Sir, I'm not going to test it again. Test it again! My brother was clean, goddammit! I'm sorry, that's not what the test says. It was in the late stages. You see a very, very angry man just sort of like staring down Stumbles. Yeah, Big, what are you doing in this situation?
So
Would you like to try my new potion? It might calm you down.
It might make
For
you
a
kill
few
yours-
minutes or forever.
It might make you kill yourself.
It might make you a weasel.
Either way, you won't be angry.
Excuse me, sir. I identify as a stoat.
But yes, sorry about that, Big.
okay, so yeah, it's a small enough tent that I assume I can hear this happening. So I guess I'll just like walk up behind Stumbles and ask if he needs any help. Is there anything you need help with, Stumbles? I say, like looking at the guy.
Roll me intimidation.
Big? Intimidating?
Yeah, he doesn't want to actually fight, but like he's large, so
He's large and not in charge.
Yo, but maybe
Man.
one day.
let's see. That
You
is
can smell the promotion.
yeah, that's only a 10.
With an 8, this guy instantly is like, Stumbles just sort of like chuckles at, oh no, lad, I think that dear Frank here was just leaving, weren't you, Frank? Fine. He like leaves, sort of shoves past Rallis as he does. Fuck you, metal man.
Oh,
Just walks by him without saying or really acknowledging his existence. At most, he's going to glance back, and I doubt he'd be able to tell from just a glance to see if he's showing any signs of infection.
Nope, he seems clean.
Okay. Yeah, he's just going to walk up and pull Stumbles aside because he's still not okay with the giant.
I thought we were making progress.
We are. That doesn't mean that he's going to actively
No.
be anywhere around you.
Yeah, you start to pull on Stumbles' arm and he's just like, Rallis.
I mean, I wouldn't do that. I'd go, it Stumbles. Come here a moment.
Oh, you can talk to me here, Rallis. He gives a very knowing smile.
Alice isn't here because he still doesn't fully trust him to be truthful. He just knows that he can follow orders. Rouse is going to pull out the 2 vials of
Bliss.
Sylvanus Bliss, whatever.
Silvatarn.
Silvertarn. I'm never going to remember that. He
No worries.
pulls them out and kind of holds them out to him. I found these yesterday. Figured you'd be the best one to know what it's for.
Ah, that's the bliss then.
Hmm.
Yeah, yes. But I was actually talking about that with Big here. So yeah, that's medicine that helps delay the symptoms a bit. Has a bit of holy energy infused into it.
Okay.
Ah, on that subject, fellow who made that, from what I understand, also wrote these notes. Now we got that fella, and we got his notes, but they're in Riverside. So if you happen to be heading that way, would you mind taking Big with you?
Just- he turns. There's a very clear silence, but because none of the blue lines are changing colors, it's more of a trying to process how useful he would be. And after
Is after his fuck's
after
given.
a very long amount of time, before he goes, you know how to heal people, right?
Yeah, that's something I've been known to do.
Does a marvelous job of it too.
Oh.
You can keep the others alive. You fuck up, I gut you.
That is a tempting offer, our usual arrangement. So, I sure.
It's better than nothing.
It's progress.
Which gate was it? Which gate was it that we left out of? Was it the east-west gate?
The west gate, I believe.
The one that Johnny mans.
No, wait, east gate, yeah.
If, guessing it's been a bit travel time, I'll say east gate 30 minutes. And as he's about to turn, he glances back. Bring health potions if you have them. And he's going to walk out the tent and head towards Caleb. He's still hostile. It's very clear in his voice. He's not happy about it. But he's at least somewhat willing to work with you. As long as you provide use to him.
Always happy to be of use. So, yeah, you said he asked me to bring health potions, and I figure we don't hand them out at the medical tent, but I didn't know if I figure I could get them at a different rate from Stumbles. 'Cause I know they are of use.
That's why he told you that. He figured you work here, you might get an employee discount.
So I would just grab 4, one for each of us.
Sure thing. Like, slowly limps his way to the back room.
Yeah, I figure there's like a thing full of them.
Yeah, he has like a small safe sort of locked up, just sort of opens it up. 1, 2, yeah, here you are. Like, holds out 4 bottles for you.
All right, and how much would that be?
You're running an errand for me, and it's dangerous out there. Take it for free.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Trust me. Bring back those notes. It'll be worth it. Send us leaps and bounds ahead and into actual search for a cure.
It's revolutionary if we can make it work.
Aye.
And Big will head on his way.
So with that, Caleb.
Yeah, the fucks.
Regardless of what happens, I assume I'm going to walk in here because it's been Rouse's day everywhere he goes. I just assume I'm going to walk in and you're going to be chucking things at Philip, who is back in the rafters.
Actually, he's been helping me with the shield. I mean, as annoying and derpy as he can be, he is still an assistant.
Plus,
Tibble Flip appreciates company loyalty.
Plus, he can eat all the scrap metal you carve away.
Exactly.
So yeah, as you walk into Philip, not only holding the shield down, but also doing a line of metal shavings.
Anyway, so as you walk in, Valis, right? How did I forget the name? Rallis, thank you.
Vralis.
Like rally.
Rallis, there you are.
Eh.
Good work, Fibblethip. Let's go and show him. All right, so we've got this. So we've got this entire arm guard here, and here's the shield. Now it looks, and then as you look at it, it's noticeably small, and so obviously you're going to question it, right?
You
But
take
watch
the
it.
emotionless face of Ralis to be inquisitive. His silence is a burning question that you interpret.
But watch this. And so Caleb gets down into like a defense position, and the shield actually has layered sections that extend out to cover the whole body.
It's one of those circular shields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you see a number pop up. 1,500 defense points.
Well, Rouse is gonna pick it up, kind of examine it. Well, let's see how it feels. And he's gonna just take off his robe, because he will never fight in it. Because otherwise he would just rip the fuck out of the robe. And let's get integrated.
Are there any noticeable markings on the shield? Like painted, shop at, whatever your shop's name is.
You see a little carved penis right in the corner where Relis would never see it.
You tempt me. Anyway. Crap. DM, what did I say it looked like? It was like the G was made out of a gun or something like that?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's got your insignia on it.
Yeah, so it has my insignia specifically in the middle of the where all the blades are connected by a mechanism.
Yeah. He's
Brand loyalty.
after getting it integrated, he's going to kind of just move his arm around a little bit, open, close it a few times, and just look around. You got some place I can move around a little bit more without breaking something?
Sure do. Come out on back.
Yeah, he's just gonna follow you.
Normally, we use this place as a testing range for all of our guns, but it's pretty spacious once we move all the targets out of the way.
Okay. He's just going to test around, make sure it's not too heavy.
All right, so we have some low velocity guns around here that we can use to test it out.
Okay.
And then we're gonna spend some time doing exactly that, shooting low velocity projectiles at him.
So what he's saying is he's going to shoot at you.
I trust him.
Right then, you ready?
Raz is going to extend shield. With all of that done, also he's going, once done testing it, he's going to go, okay. Oh, before I forget, he's just going to tap something on the side of his leg. The compartment's going to open. He's just going to pull out 225 gold. Here's what you got for the amethyst.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got a new job if you want. Going back after the, gonna go find someone who might be able to point us in the right direction for that person who ran off yesterday.
I'm listening.
We're meeting with Nika and Vane and the Giant at the East Gate.
Well, count me in.
So how long did any of this take?
I assume after integrating it and just firing off 2 or 3 rounds at it, probably like 15 minutes.
It was like
20.
you told Big to meet you there
I
at
was
half an hour.
I was just imagining a very offended Big just being like, "You told me half an hour. I've been waiting. I've been
That's
waiting.
what I'm thinking. By the time you get there, I've been here for 3 hours.
I've been here for 5.
What took you so long?" Oh, I was letting him take pot shots at me. It was real fun.
What did I miss?
And you just—it's like you just see Vane sitting there thinking about if he can ignite the spores around Big to create an explosion around his enemies.
Yeah, I know.
Bro, combo move. Let's go.
Or else it wouldn't have taken too long. He would have kept moving.
New combo move. Get.
No, it's like it. Have you all ever played Ultimate Alliance 2?
I played the first one.
This sounds
Yeah,
familiar.
you know the combo moves from you can do with them.
Not really.
Oh my god.
So yeah, you two approach. You see Big and Vane, and gotta be careful how I say those two, because those two are two words that you don't want to say too close to each other. And also Anika, just sort of off to one side, as he's socially sharpening a few of her knives.
I'm gonna head up to Anika first. Say,
Hey.
you know who we're looking for?
Hmm?
Know who we're looking for?
Yeah. The scry fella over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, big guy. Doesn't talk much. I think his name's, oh yeah, they all call him Noose.
At the mention of Big, he will turn his head and look.
Nah, not you, big fella.
Oh. Okay.
Good reaction time, though.
Oh, right. He's gonna turn to Vane. Hey, you still have that arm?
Yes, we put
I'm
it
sorry,
in
what? Are you keeping an arm on you?
You know, it's just emergency rations or
Yeah,
something.
I'm always armed.
Caleb, I love you, but you gotta shut up.
Me and the Reverend put it in a basket to see if we could find a scryer who could link it back to the original owner.
That's where we're headed.
You couldn't have told me that before we came here.
Honestly, when you were told to get your crap and get out of town for a couple days, I assumed you'd probably grab it.
I didn't.
People don't normally pack severed limbs. This is expected.
I may be an edgelord, but I'm not that fucking weird to just take an arm. Yes, my most prized possession.
I may be an edgelord, but my mom always packed for me.
The Reverend packed him some soup.
Terzanon's the one who always made my packed lunches for school.
Bruh, I would love to see that. Let's get some fan art of that if this
Yo.
ever takes off.
He always cut the crusts off just how I like it.
All I'm thinking is this demon lord dressed as Ed's mom from that one episode of Ed, Edd and Eddie. He just turns around and it's Terzanon's face.
No, I feel like
no.
he'd just be dressed as like the American Dream from like the 50s or 30s or whatever.
Holy
Sort
shit, yes.
of that sort of stereotypical like TV show sort of
Yeah, like
mom.
sweater vest. I was thinking just one of those like I don't know.
Like
Not
fucking
you're not allowed to
pink
like Bill
polo
Cosby, but
shirt
like that
tucked
kind of
into
guy.
like pink polo shirt tucked into some some very tight. No wait, it'd be an entire fucking blouse, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, no, like a
Like
very
that, like a
odd.
green blouse with like flowers on it.
Yeah,
No, and I'm
and it
just
has
like,
an apron.
Trigun's face when it turns around.
And has an apron on it at all times because they were just expected to be in front of a fucking stove all day.
I want to believe this conversation is happening as we're walking back to Reverend's house, just between the five of us.
No, I feel like we just need to put like one of those like transitions they put in like the really old cartoons, the with like the symbol that goes forward and then spins back.
Yeah, like 15,
like-
20
and
minutes
it's like
later.
we're
So now
back
that
at-
we've got that,
And it's like we're
Even fucking better. The intro to this episode is just a fucking swing. Let's go, sun in. It's so good for you. Let's go, sun in.
But yes, we will go get the arm and come back like 30 minutes later.
30 minutes
Oh,
later.
yeah, you-
Just like slam
Yes.
open the door. Reverend, I need the arm.
I would like to make a disclaimer that time during the United States was fucking awful.
Also, you're banned from town.
He has until sunset.
Does he?
Yeah, I have time.
I didn't
to
know
do
if once he
stuff.
left, if it was just like sucks
I mean,
to
we
suck.
didn't actually leave yet.
Ah, gotcha.
Yet.
Oh, yeah, you pop back by the Reverend's house. You see Kayla and Annalise just playing off in the yard while the Reverend's just, like, waving. So, I heard your band.
Huh? Oh, yeah, that's fine. I was leaving to do something else anyway.
I wouldn't take it personally. She tends to do that every now and then. She doesn't like band. She's likes to make sure no newcomers know the order around here. But I wouldn't worry about it.
If-
Sure, she'll take a liking to you.
If the order of things, just knowing she's a bitch, that's fine. I've dealt with worse.
Hey, now, I'm a man of the cloth. You can't be saying that.
I was
Technic-
banned 12 times before she finally stopped bothering.
Technically speaking, I'm one of the highest-ranking members of our cloth, so I don't really care. But
Hmm.
anyway, I need the arm.
Ah, well, it's right where you left it then.
Just sort of go get the basket. It's
You
sort-
wanna go lunch? I got some soup I was cooking.
No, I still have the thermos.
Ah,
Big Blue just
Well,
like,
you enjoy.
oh.
I want to believe you left on the mantle.
I'm picturing like a basket with like a picnic blanket just
Fucking-
folded over it, like almost like a picnic lunch ready to go, just with an arm in it.
I mean, I was just kind of imagining the stereotypical, like, Skyrim basket, but sure.
I prefer more one of those robotic fish that you put above the fireplace, but it's the arm instead of the fish.
It still sings
Are you
and
talking about the
flaps.
fucking, like, what was it? Was it McDonald's that made those singing bass?
Yeah.
give me back my
one of
filet
those.
fish. Give me that fish.
Fucking Christ. Give me that sun scorching ray. Give me back that ray.
Give me back that fireball.
Smash cut to me with Caleb.
I can't wait for
Good
someone
use
to
for the
animate
time.
this.
Anyway, I'll just go over and take the basket and we'll start heading back to the gate.
So we have his ledger and his arm.
And his scythe. Or scimitar.
Yeah, and a sword.
Yeah, 3 items of his. That'll make this grind really easy.
Hmm.
Because it goes down with everything you have. Or the DC goes up with everything.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you all head for the gates and, yeah, so you guys start to head out along the road towards Riverside. Is there anything in particular you guys want to be doing along the way? Or,
Vane will just sort of walk up to Rallis, walking beside him. So I went to check to try and get a message out to my people, but this whole blockade going around the entire place, is there really not a single smuggler's path that anyone's able to get out through?
I know of a few.
Would that be history?
yes.
Yeah,
No, like
that's,
deadass though. Caleb would know a few.
Yeah, 16.
No, they're not super used these days, but the guild did have a few smuggling routes they used to get things in and out. A lot of them have been collapsed, and the ones that remain have been mainly overrun with infected, so they're not super used these days, but they are theoretically still functioning.
There's most of the ones I know about were collapsed. There's a few that you might be able to get to, but you'd have to fight your way through a shit ton of infected. Hey, Caleb, you know a way to get a message out of the city?
Oh yeah, of course I do. And then I'm probably gonna have to roll for history too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you at least you'd probably have advantage.
Yeah, roll history with advantage, I'd say.
You're you got rogue stuff.
Grand total of 8.
8. You know that your father used to have a whole lot of different methods of getting materials and stuff, a few different ways of contacting people. You can't really recall them off the top of your head, but you know that he kept some notes around the house. It was sort of a thing of you were too young to really focus on it or wonder about, hey, where's Dad get all this highly illegal stuff?
Back when I had to run the store on my own, I ended up finding some of my father's notes. He had some ways to get some materials during the lockdown. So yeah, I can know of a few ways. We'll just have to go back and get them.
No, we'll do that then. We'll need to get the message out to back to my hometown, and they'll be able to send things through, and at that point the army outside will either let them in or disappear.
Fair enough for me.
I like how Caleb just doesn't question anything I say. He's like, yeah, okay, sure. the weird man in the cloak is just talking about all this shit.
Well, I mean, he already heard that you had a means to get a supply chain through here, right?
Yes.
He would naturally assume that's what he's talking about.
Hmm.
And he also doesn't really care too hard about what faith the city belongs to. Remember, he lost his own anyway.
Well, is more focused on helping the people, so the army doesn't really faze him very much.
Yeah.
Big didn't know you were getting supplies.
Yes, Big, do you have any statements to make on the weird devil man?
So it's, you have friends who are sending supplies then?
Well, I'm trying to get a message out to them on behalf of Lady Bright Eyes to try and help this place for a short while.
I didn't, what little I've heard of you, I didn't think you would be the type to just help out cities like that. Good for you.
Yeah, that's hardly out of the kindness of my heart. I have a mission to do, and having the people here antagonizing me in the way would slow that significantly.
Big just like, I knew we'd grow on him. Like a moss on a carcass.
Yeah. As you speak, and Micah sort of like rushes up beside you. Is that right? You got a way to get a message outside? Or get news of it outside?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Ah, well, if you manage to do it, if it's not too much trouble, I got some friends in a swamp, swamp outside the city. Would love to know how they're doing.
I suppose we can have whoever goes through with the message if we find a way to get that through as well.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Again, Big just like, yep, he's a nice person, alright. Just good Samaritan over here. So, I don't know if I've ever said his character's name. Johnny.
Caleb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caleb. I've heard that you have worked with a homunculi before.
I do have one in my shop. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been looking into creating one to help out at the with the supplies and doing goings on of the medical tent when I'm not there. Let's see. I wouldn't mind comparing notes on how you made yours, if you wouldn't care to.
Oh yeah, of course. Is there a role I could probably explain it to him too while I'm at it? Is there a role I'd have to check?
I think both of you technically would have to make intelligence rolls.
Oh, yeah.
For you for explaining it to him, and him for
Understanding.
Yeah, I'd say both of you make an Arcana check.
Yeah, Arcana's probably smarter. You didn't roll well, did you?
12 plus a 3, so 15 plus proficiency bonus.
Don't bother.
Was that a nice old one?
Yeah.
So you're saying I put the alchemy jugs inside the homunculus on the mayonnaise setting. Got it.
I mean, it still rolled pretty high.
You know what? No, lore-wise, this is just
Is
very
this-
different.
Instead of homunculus, you created a mayonnaise golem. It's like a
You
mud
put
golem.
the core in what?
Instead of
Dropped it down the alchemy jug. Out came a 2-gallon mayonnaise.
So I rolled a
monster.
total of 18.
Ah,
no,
so,
I mean, I would have rolled a 5 at least, but it was a 1. So
yeah, Big, unfortunately you're just sort of nodding along in this conversation, which, makes sense. You're making your first homunculus and everything. You're just looking to learn. Caleb, you know a good bit about homunculus making. Your father used to tell you a lot about the details of how he made Fibblefip, how to structure the mind so they could do simple tasks but wouldn't really gather enough sentience to
Rebelled.
question your orders. All sorts of things about how to make all the muscles work and ligaments work and contract well, how to organize the stomach acid so that it would actually digest fully and not just loosen things up and whatnot. Just lots of complex alchemical properties.
Big's
Ah,
You know what?
Yes.
How about whenever we have the opportunity, I can just show you.
Certainly. Yeah, I would love to.
What's the usual going rate for having somebody create a homunculus for you? I imagine it's probably expensive.
well, generally it depends on which ones you want. Like the ones you guys have, the more bestial, like gremlin-looking ones, they're usually on the cheaper side. They're about like 150 or so. But you have heard tale of other lands where they've made very human-like homunculi, which tend to go for upwards of 1,000 or so.
Boy, that would be really nice to know how to. Yeah, it'd be really nice, but
Well, at that point, you've just created life.
yeah.
And boy, oh boy, it can make you some real money back, I'll tell you.
As you're giving up on explaining things big, Raul's actually going to mutter something in Draconic.
Oh boy.
I don't know how much is Nika capable of understanding Draconic.
She can understand it all right. She's very bad at like understanding the tense of it and speaking it herself. Her accent is atrocious.
So she'll understand Raul when he says, "I'm fucking making machines of war, but can't even fucking understand how to make a fucking golem."
I knew, yes. And Nika agrees in Draconic.
Since it's for assistance in your work, I can cut you a deal.
Certainly, yeah. Just the experience would be very valuable.
Sure thing. You know what? You won't even have to pay me for the knowledge. I'll just have you pay me a reduced price for the homunculus itself. I'll teach you how to make one for free.
Oh well, yeah. When we get back to town, that would be incredibly useful. Thank you. Big, just like it's good to have friends.
While we're just walking along, Vane will just sort of turn to everyone. So, I guess while we're on the way, I suppose we'll be working with each other more, so I figured we might... And he'll just sort of stop for a second. Ask where everyone came from. Just very pained expression, like he has no idea how to break the silence.
I was just gonna look at you. You're bad at this, aren't you?
Look, I live inside of a giant cathedral inside of a district in our home. I don't really talk to many people.
I think you did great.
He'll
Just
just
big
sort of
thumbs up.
Don't patronize me, damn it.
You see genuine support in Big's eyes.
Well, seeing as you're wanting to talk all out there, why don't you start, Metal Man?
Not much to say. Lived on a mountain with my family. Big village of other dragonborn, half-dragons, kobolds. We were actually run by a dragon for at least a while. Then war broke out. He glances at Big. Now I'm here.
How much would Big know about this war, if anything?
Roll me a history check.
18.
Ah.
You were there. You killed his family.
With my own hands.
Look, he reveals that all bets are off.
He seems to remember that he was nicknamed something called the Crimson Alchemist.
This Big is his cover.
Oh, God.
This city will pay for its sins, Ed boy.
Just the PTSD flashbacks.
You've finally done it. You've killed me. Okay.
Is it obvious we're stalling for time yet?
But, yes. Big, you know a good bit about this conflict. Was taught to you a good bit by the other Firbolg back home. As far as you can tell, there was a small mountain range with a bunch of independent tribes living there. And it went back and forth from being controlled by the giants in the north to being controlled by the Albaics in the south. You remember that your people actually worked with them a long time ago, but during one of the Albaic reconquests of the region, your people were sort of stuck behind and ended up sort of accepting Albaic rule. You remember that in the last conflict, it was the tribals in the area essentially rose up and formed their own country, sort of a buffer state between the two kingdoms. And that it was a very bloody war, given that they were a bunch of normal-sized people fighting an army of giants.
Actually, can I roll to see if I know this as well?
Oh,
Or
sure.
recognize anything about this war? I think with this I would know of it. 15, so I probably heard vague mutterings of it, just not very specific.
Yeah, well, 15, I'd say that you recall you heard a lot of it from some of the more recent additions to your cults, given that a lot of quite a few of the Albaic soldiers they sent up to sort of try and suppress these revolts were ended up getting caught up in the crossfire of giants. A lot of them lost limbs or were paralyzed and things like that, and a lot of those people sort of lost faith in their god afterwards and started turning to Terzanon and other demons.
You know, that war, I believe a few of our members came from the aftermath of that.
So they made it out.
A number of them. I wouldn't be sure of the exact amount, but would I know about how many might have made it? Like a few dozen, maybe.
Yeah, it's probably like around 80 or so of your most recent recruits.
Yeah. Somewhere approaching about almost 100.
Well, that's interesting. I'm not sure how long, how many people stayed back in the mountain range. I didn't. Well, he kind of lifts his arm. I wasn't exactly that welcome to stay when the conflict ended.
And what about you? Large one.
I just wanted to get out and see more of the world than my tribe did. That's all there is to that.
Does your tribe, they live inside this quarantine zone, or
No,
you just happen to get stuck here?
no, I was I was exploring and came across the town. I traveled with some others for a while before coming here, but this seemed like a fine enough place to settle down. Me and Stumbles had a fair bit in common as far as a field of research goes.
Well, it seems you all have kept this place from completely running into the ground, so that's
Stumbles
better.
is very assertive. Oh, speaking of Stumbles, I Rallis wanted me to grab these, and it's I hand out the health potions. I only grabbed 4. I hand one to each of you all, and then I'll hand I guess an Ica one.
Thank you.
Vane will just sort of take it, put it into his pack.
How about you? You started this. You said you live in a cathedral.
It's complicated. Our group, we live in a place called Vexia. Have any of you heard of it? It's a somewhat far-off kingdom. Do you want them to roll to see if they know Vexia?
Big would have
Yes.
no
roll,
reason to.
roll history, please.
If you don't think you know, if you don't want to know it, you don't have to.
I'm
I
going
rolled
to
a
say
2, so I
based
don't
off
know anything.
based off Rallis's backstory, where he was in the war and then he was in the city. Never heard of it.
Well, I think someone knows what it is.
I wasn't even actually rolling.
You spend a lot of time at bars.
Well, do you want me to read you the wiki page?
That's the place those motherfuckers that killed my father came from.
The man who killed my father was Vexian.
Also, real quick, just to make sure we have this I have my continuity right. How long has this quarantine been going on for again?
I believe around 3 years or so,
Okay.
is what we'd said before.
How long ago was the giant-ish war thing?
Rallis would have ideally would have been at Bleakstone before the quarantine for some amount of time. So, say 4 years.
Yeah, I'd say it was probably about 7 years ago.
7 years ago would have been the ending, so that would be. I guess Rallis would have been there for what, 3 years then?
Yeah.
So 3 years plus the 3 years of quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
trying to do math because Rallis joined up when he was 17, so he would have been 22.
Hmm.
So he's 28.
Oh, yeah.
For anyone who cares.
And do you want me to just read Caleb the description of Vexia?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so get ready for this, since I now have to explain everything at
Holy shit, I don't know what this place is. Let's just say
Okay.
that, please. That was dead ass a joke roll.
That's what with big. I was like, I don't know.
Well, it's your roll, so nat
God
20
damn
it
it,
is. It's not that long, but you know Vexia is a kingdom far off, and you know it's usually, to most people, known as the City of Horror, due to how constantly it's attacked by different supernatural shit happening, usually
Cthulhu, just putting his foot down.
like devils and demons attacking. There's every 3 years a wave of ghosts from a cursed town attack and have to be fought off. Generally, it's not that happy, but a cult, presumably Vanes, has come along and sort of made their home base in Vexia. And once they sort of took over and sort of became the defending force and started spreading their influence, Vexia, since they no longer had to fight off fucking devils and demons themselves as regular people, their whole population and economy just exploded. And now it's kind of like, just imagine sort of like Ravnica. It just sort of expands everywhere. So now it's just this giant place of different districts. So you just have 9 different sections, all just sort of out. And this place, there's the most important people of this cult just sort of each have their own district they live in. And each district sort of handles their own thing by themselves. So you have a military district, a market district, a banking district, entertainment, marine, high class, slums, nobility, castle. And each of these has the temple, and each of them has one member of the 10 highest ranking members of the cult known
You're
as
going to want to remember this because you're going to have to explain it to us after your roll ends.
Yes, you have to explain everything in detail.
Oh, yeah, it's that weird demon place, right?
It's where them demon worshippers go, right?
Congratulations, you get to learn what I sent to Timmy the last couple days.
So, have you heard of Vexia? Quail immediately shoots himself in the face. That's a yes.
Now, see,
Have
his
you-
mother was from Vexia.
Have you heard
Oh,
of the
no.
tragedy of Alexia?
But yeah,
It's not a story the Christians would tell you.
probably not. But basically these 10 highest ranking members are each spread out throughout these districts, with most of them having a single district they sort of take care of by themselves when they're not actually doing anything, except for the 2 highest rankings just sort of reside together in the castle district. And with that, I think that's enough to just say Vexia.
So, how much of that was, vaguely from when Big asked you last time? Was any of that reused?
No.
Oh.
That's all stuff I came up with over the last week.
Huh.
Just to sort of figure out the actual place, not just the people.
Mhm.
I mean,
Interesting.
do you want to roll history on learning all the members? I have all of their descriptions. I have all of their character sheets.
Indeed, he got dedicated with it, and I'm proud of him.
I spent like a year and a half coming up with all of them.
You did good. You did good.
I still actually need to sit down and send you some stuff about.
Now, can I give you my
the
actual
war.
opinion on it?
Hey,
Yes.
That's pretty fucking cool.
That
yeah.
was cool, man.
That's
Good
a
job.
pretty fucking
You did
cool.
very, very good.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll say I have an easy idea. Given that this shop my shop has existed long before the bloodborne pandemic started, we'll say that people from Valexia came to have metal crafts and artifacts and stuff either restored or created. Sometimes even dedicated weaponry in the name of their cult.
Yeah. Because I think the cult would have been around probably about, in an official capacity, like 50 to 100 years. And it would have expanded probably 25, 30 years ago.
There's a good chance that if you find one of the more rare weapons among their kind, you'll find our emblem on it, which is probably a little disrespectful to the cult, all things considered. But
Gotta get that brand out there.
But we did kind of try to hide it. So sorry about that.
You know, it's not his specific faith that may have been the only factor in his father's death. So you've been selling how many weapons to cultists?
It's an officially endorsed cult by a city and a kingdom, okay? That makes it better.
If it's official, how much of a cult can it really be?
Their patron saint ate children.
I mean, everyone knows nothing bad happened with the Inquisition or the conquistadors, and they were...
This might also lead into answer the question of why my father might have been killed.
Exactly.
I was about to say, it's just like the Thomas Wayne syndrome of like, why would someone want to kill Thomas Wayne? Constantly more shady shit Thomas Wayne has done.
As the story goes on, we're going to learn that your father was a piece of shit. No. No.
Fibblethip was once a woman.
Fibblethip is what is left of your mother. No.
So anyway, back to the original question. So do any of you know about Vexia?
Meanwhile, Big just loading.
Actually, my father did. Actually, my father took on commissions from quite a few people from that city.
I know we've taken in orders of weapons from a lot of places, most of them questionable sources, and of questionable quality, but...
Not entirely sure if you've seen our emblem, but he'll just pull out one of his pistols, check it, and then show it to Vane.
Let's see.
That's a gun, all right.
Yes. I'm guessing that would be history to remember that.
Oh, yeah.
7.
That's a gun, all right.
I can't say I've seen your specific symbol before, although we do have a lot of different weapons for different occasions.
Well, if it wasn't absolutely ceremonial, there was a few of them that basically wanted the essence of your cult embedded into the weapons. So for those that weren't entirely ceremonial and actually made for either decoration or defense, we threw our symbol onto it.
No, please explain to me how your father infused demon into his guns. How many children died?
We didn't. They did.
Yeah, I tend not to deal as much with the Vane just sort of vaguely motions around. The lesser sort of members, they're the ones who get really weird about actually worshipping Terzanon instead of what most of my group does, which is more just
working their 9 to 5.
Work their agreed upon contracts and deals. One of our members is quite devoted to him, and honestly, if he saw any of the things that the Christians might say about the
Although that being said, it would have been almost entirely impossible for any of your cult to actually utilize the weapons for rituals.
Well,
we made it with the wrong type of material. You know, Christians after all.
Well,
so we managed to get a pretty large sum from, I would at least hope that was some of your lessers.
Believe me, if it was someone more along our upper rankings and you gave them low quality goods, you probably wouldn't have your business still standing.
Oh no, the quality was fine. We just used the wrong material on purpose.
Believe me, they would have noticed.
Well, that's good. And then it all turns out that this is the exact reason why the pandemic started.
It turns out my non-devil boss is the one who killed your father. and then we're all gonna fucking die.
So long as this material isn't blessed in any way by Krishna, it'll just be a good spell of health for everyone. Oh. Oh no.
The holy metal. It was quenched in holy
So I guess
water.
it's my turn now to tell where I was from.
Sure.
I mean, can Vane just sort of stop you right there? I think we kind of figured that one out with the whole father searching for thing. To be honest, it's a lot easier to understand than most of ours. Except for maybe Big. His was very easy to process.
Well, that and I was also on a site of crime for quite a while. You can blame the fatherlessness for that.
Are you saying all fatherless people are criminals? Are you saying orphans are evil?
No, but I was.
You heard it here first, folks. Lock up the orphans.
What are they gonna do? Tell their parents?
Oh!
I mean, one of them standing next to you can set you on fire.
Anywho, but in order to keep my business afloat, I actually had to work for a few of the gangs of this city. I've been trying my hardest to give back to it, which is probably why I haven't been banished by Lady Bright Eyes yet. I'm sure she knows. She must.
Well, if you happen to have a few connections in those criminal organizations, they might be able to help us find some extra ways to get outside as well.
They might, although I try not to deal with them too much. You know, distancing myself from them and everything.
Well, my organization's not above bribing those who are the less reputable sort, so...
I can point you in their direction at least, but leave me out of it.
As you wish.
So, as you all finish up the musings about your origins and feel as though you've grown closer as a group, as you bound the next hill, you see Inaika staring ahead. Jeez. As you look ahead towards what you understand as a small community of Riverside, you see a good bit of damage to the building, and outside, patrolling, many of the infected, prowling for their next kill.
Oh shit!
And that is where we shall end off for the night.